We are still inside Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 0, Southampton 1. It's a very, very noisy away, and you can just hear behind us every single Southampton member of staff, players, substitutes, the manager getting a rapturous ovation from their away travelling fans. Boys, difficult to take. It's one of those games, isn't it, where you come into it knowing you've got to be beating teams like this that are at the bottom of the table at home. There's no other way to dress it up. It's disappointing.
Yeah, I think we gave ourselves too much to do in the second half. I think the first half we all said it, like it wasn't good enough. You know, the changes did make a difference. We created more chances, but all they needed to do was hold that result. And you can hear their fans. We said it at the start. They're going to be their 12th man. It's a free run for them. Like, they're coming to Stamford Bridge. They've had good performances in the past, and once we gave them that little edge, they took it and deservedly got the 3 points.
I think there's an element as well, Zach, like we said, you know, they come into it knowing their job today, and every single one of them dug in Southampton. Their fans likewise. They're going to go away again. 3 bonus points almost that they wouldn't have been banking on at the start of the season, or wouldn't have been starting on even the start of the month. It's a big performance for Southampton, but I suppose it goes to show how much work we still have to do and how far we're progressing, you know, because there is an element to that. Chelsea didn't play poorly today. They just couldn't find a way. It won't go down as a classic Chelsea performance by no means. It's disappointing. Let's not dress it up any other way. But it's not a bad performance. If that, as silly as that sounds, there are moments within the game that will please where we're going and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I think it's tough. It's tough, right? You come away from straight away after a 1-0 loss. It feels tough, especially when you see the way we conceded. You know, it wasn't a counter-attack. It was a silly free kick to give away to the guy, to arguably the best free kick taker in the world, from the perfect position for him in the perfect angle. He could have put the ball better down, and that's how they scored. It's not that we defended poorly. I thought we defended pretty well. I think even when Wesley Fofana came on, good to see him get the minutes, and I thought he did a really good job. And then it just feels like nothing is going Chelsea's way. You have the chance for Raheem Sterling where he heads it, and it's blocked off the line. He then gets a second chance, and it's deflected to go over. We had another opportunity like that as well, where Kai Havertz does really well into the box, although gets the ball through from Raheem Sterling, plays it back to Raheem Sterling, blocked by Ainsley Maitland-Niles. There's nothing quite literally going Chelsea's way. I think the second half was definitely an improvement on the first. Raheem Sterling, good to see him back. I thought he looked really, really good coming back into that. You think about the next game against Spurs now, because that's what it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be that next game. And look, it's not great. It's not great. But if you can get a result against Spurs in a London derby away, I think that can be huge. It's a tough one to take, especially minutes after. And when you're seeing other teams possibly get results elsewhere, that's frustrating. But yeah, look, I think eventually luck's got to go our way sometime soon.
Yeah, you'd absolutely hope so. And also, some quite concerning news regarding Cesar Azpilicueta. Obviously, he left the field on a stretcher. So coming together between him and a Southampton player is essentially attempting a bicycle kick in the box, and Azpilicueta's gone to head the ball away, and he's taken, by the look of it, quite a bad bash to the head. Obviously left the field on the stretcher after a lengthy delay. Quite a lot of well wishes coming in. Obviously, we don't know the state of play at the moment. Looked very concerning, Sam. He's a man that gives everything for the club, everything for the team. Very, very worrying, but also we don't know anything at this stage, so the only thing we can do, I suppose, is send him our best, his family our best, and hopefully it's not as serious as it looked, because it did look a bad one.
Yeah, we wish him the best, obviously, but it also epitomises Azpilicueta. You know, he always gives 110% for the club. He's done that since he's been at the club, and I think that moment there almost dampened the mood, because, you know, a player that like him is a warrior. You know, he leads by example, and a player like him coming off in the manner that he did, it's just unfortunate. But like you said, we wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he comes back to his best. Yeah,
absolutely, we do, and that's it exactly. You know, we'll await the coming days and however long it takes. I'm sure when there is an update, we'll let you know on the Fifth Stand app or wherever you get your Chelsea news. Just make sure you look at the Chelsea website, official sources and stuff like that, because that's the danger, isn't it, Zach? It looked like a bad one, so it's one of those you have to take your time. It has to go through the protocol, whatever Azpilicueta needs from this point on.
Yeah, look, a head injury, well, I don't think I have to explain how serious a head injury can be. It's where your brain is, right? And when you are attempting a bicycle kick, you are putting a lot of force to send your body up there in that way. Look, wish him the absolute speediest of recoveries. however long is needed. I think Chelsea will deal with that. Chelsea have a fantastic medical department, and with the way kind of head injuries over the past few years have been taken in football, they've been taken a lot more seriously now, hence the introduction of the concussion sub and so on and so forth. Look, wishing them the absolute speediest recoveries and all our best.
Let's have a look at the run ahead then, Sam, because the disappointment today, it can't last long in your mind, because you got, like Zach mentioned, you got Spurs away next weekend, which every Chelsea fan on the planet circles and bookmarks as a game that you want to go and perform and want to go and win, especially on their patch. Then additionally, the next 2 home games here, it's Leeds United, who again, Chelsea fans of an older generation will know how bitter that rivalry has been in the past. It started to reignite the last few years as well. And then Borussia Dortmund at home, where we got overturned a 1-0 deficit. So you cannot feel sorry for yourself. Now's the time as a Chelsea fan, as a Chelsea player, as whatever you want to look at it, you sort of dust yourself down and you go again. And that's kind of the mindset I suppose we all have to be in. We have to go again now. This is done. We have to deal with it as soon as possible, process it. But you can't feel sorry for yourself. You've got to get on with it now.
Yeah, 100%. We've said it multiple times, but every game from now is a final. You know, it's an important game to get 3 points to advance in the Champions League as well. We need performances in every game, and it's just unfortunate because, like we said, this is a little blip in a few run of games that we were seeing the team come together. Maybe there was a few changes that, you know, the chemistry wasn't as fluid as we want them to be. We probably didn't expect Southampton to come out as well as they did, but at the same time, it also proves to you how difficult these games will be. Tottenham will be a difficult game. Yes, they lost their last game, but they're going to go in that game knowing that it's a London derby. It's a big game. We've got the best of them in the last few years as well. So, yeah, every game we just got to go in and give our best.
In terms of attacking-wise, you've mentioned Raheem Sterling. I thought he was excellent when he came on in the second half. I thought he, again, changed the game. He's, on his day, a world-class operator. I suppose the same thing with Raheem as majority of Chelsea squad. Unfortunately, we've just not had a full complement available as much as we'd like due to injuries or whatever. Now maybe is that potential. You look at that as a positive. Players are coming back. The squad is getting larger, that we said before the game, and maybe that's something we take from today. Players that were able to get minutes, and then hopefully next week fit and ready to start if potentially needed. Yeah,
I mean, if we're looking for silver linings, I guess that definitely is one. Wesley Fofana coming back, didn't put a foot wrong. I thought it really, really good, played really smartly. Shielded the ball really well when he had to, defended really well when he needed to, looked fully fit as well. I think that was good. Raheem Sterling, as we mentioned, looked the bee's knees, happy to drive with the ball, happy to collect the ball, pass the ball really, really, really well. Again, on another day when the wind's slightly different, that header goes into the back of the net. And so, yeah, I think those are definitely good signs. Good to see Kovacic as well back. Full 90 as well, getting minutes into his legs. I think that's really good to see. So yeah, there's definitely been, I think, improvements, that's for sure. I think it's all now just about slowly but surely building on that. Look, if you beat Spurs on next Sunday, everybody forgets. Everybody forgets about this result, and then I think that's a big one. That is the big one, really, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how we work out of that. Hopefully, we'll hear about Aspilicueta's injury, but obviously Reece James and Co will also, that we're missing today, will also be back as well for that. And so, yeah, hopefully we'll have a fully fit squad.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a busy week coming up on the fifth stand-up, so make sure you stay across it, including Graham Potter speaking to the press later on in the week ahead of Sunday's match day against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. Matchday Live will be with you early afternoon, so make sure you're across that. And then on Monday evening, a week Monday, I should say, Chelsea take on Arsenal in the PL2. Okay, boys, this is always the hardest part of the show at the moment, which is one word to sum up today's game, Sam.
Exhausting.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Zach?
Tough. It's tough to take. I think we keep saying before, we're waiting for that catalyst. We really are, and you're just seeing a few things, things not going our way. Yeah. You're seeing moments, and that's the unfortunate thing. You are, as I said, like a little bit different. Of that header goes in, or certain things like again the Emery Chan block off the line. That's what it feels like at the moment. As we keep going back to those moments, or if we weren't offside. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to Sunday, and fingers crossed for that game.
Great one word, mate. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Now, boys, again, always a joy. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be today. A disappointing day at the Bridge, but, of course, as Chelsea, we're all together. We stick together and we go again next weekend. Next weekend is a massive one. So let's all get together and hopefully 3 points next Sunday against Tottenham Hotspur will be the perfect recipe. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.